Welcome to Scale Her Up, the show for female business owners and leaders who want to grow profitable, sustainable businesses without burning out. I'm Dr. Brenda Hector. I'm a business growth specialist helping women develop themselves and their businesses so they can achieve their goals and enjoy the lifestyle they dream of. In each episode, you'll hear inspiring stories, honest conversations, and practical strategies to help you start, grow, or scale your business. If you're new here, hit follow so you don't miss an episode, and come and join our Scale Her Up Facebook community to keep the conversation going. Now, today I'm delighted to have Anne Wright with me, who is the Finance Director of FBD Consultancy. Anne, thank you very much for agreeing to be a guest on the show.
Thank you for inviting me and having this conversation. That was great. Thank you.
Yeah, so let's start with the business. Okay, what does FBD Consultancy do?
Okay, FBD stands for Finance Business Development. So we're an accounting practice, a boutique practice that takes everything from business startups right through to multi-million turnover businesses. So we can do everything from the formation, the company house returns, through management accounts, financial accounts, annual accounts, tax returns, payroll, all the ancillary services from a finance perspective. And that could just be for year end, or we could be more involved and we could do the bookkeeping and the day-to-day operations and have a closer link with the business owners. So really tailoring it to the needs of the business, what they require in this ever-changing financial challenges for our business environment.
So like you mentioned it. So let's dig into that. The financial challenges that businesses are facing at the moment. What's your perspective? What do you see? Because you're right there in the books of your clients.
For a small business owner, it's tough. There is no getting away from it. It's extremely tough at the moment. You've got an increase in national minimum wage. You've got employers' national insurance. We've got energy costs. These are all things you need even before you open the door to do anything or produce anything. And they have gone up significantly. So if your sales market is not buoyant enough to control that, there's the financial squeeze. We also have, for the small trade, the sole trader, we've got MTD. So they might not have been so used to, they've kept things a bit later. We get it at year end.
Let's just explain what MTD is, because
Yes,
maybe not everybody
yes.
knows the abbreviation. Yeah.
Yes, making tax digital. If you are VAT registered, a business will be quite au fait with keeping records on maybe accounting software and keeping it up to date because they have to make quarterly returns. However, if you're below that threshold, say 50,000, you now need to do quarterly returns. So this is a huge learning curve. Now we've got, say, a plumber, an electrician, a painter. They're out on their day fulfilling their sales order book and providing their service. Now they have to keep on top of all of these costs and things. Now I can see the logic behind it. It perfectly makes sense. But for a one-man band who's trying to juggle all these plates, it's a lot.
It's a lot of extra work, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes. And then if they ask for extra help, that's a cost. So that's eating into their margin. And that's why I say it's tough. It's tough for them to keep a handle on. But it's even more important that they keep a handle on their costs. And that's where it's trying to say, look, we want to run alongside you to help you in your business. But it's a lot for a business owner to take on. Plus, life happens. Let's face it, they're all dealing with other challenges as well. You don't get away with just the challenges of running a business. So I would say it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, and I would agree. I'm working with a lot of small businesses myself as well. And yeah, there are challenges that everyone's facing, and it's just, yeah.
And it's just keeping them sane enough over the bumpy ride to get it up and running and sorted out. Because let's face it, there was a few U-turns. Was it going to happen? Was it going to come in, this Making Tax Digital? But it did. It has gone live. So the first returns are August. And let's face it, that's also a burden and a peak for accountants who are on holiday, hopefully, with kids. Now we've got all these extra returns that have to go in. It's a huge shift, a huge shift.
So managing your money and managing your time is two of the big things, isn't it, for small businesses?
Absolutely. Cash is king, really. And we've always said
time is
that.
money. Yeah.
And time is money. Yeah. Yeah. And it's making sure. And plus, they've got to keep themselves healthy as well. They do need a bit of downtime too to keep everything going. And it's just a lot for small businesses to cope with at the moment. And most of our clients probably are at this, not at the lower end, where they're not the multinationals where you've got a team. You can put in a staff team, a finance team that can run all these things for you. And they're not taken into this Making Tax Digital regime, but there's more scope for them to cope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What brought you to FBD Consultancy, Anne?
It married the other bits involved. So we're a husband and wife team. We work together in the public sector, and we obviously got married, and we decided, you know what, it would be quite good if we set up on ourselves. My husband is a ICAS trained, whereas I'm CIPFA trained, which is the public sector, whereas Brian is Chartered Institute of Accountants for Scotland. We come with the same background, and we thought it would be quite nice to set up. We didn't expect to set up as fully initially. Initially, I was going to stop work and he would continue, but then things changed. Life happens. We had a family. He set up, and we started with nothing, no clients, no nothing. And we've built from there, from scratch. So nearly 20 years now. So yeah, I'm super proud of what we've achieved. It's not been easy, it's been challenging, but it's also fulfilling that to see that baby start from just Brian, then, oh, will you come and do some hours for me? And that's when the kids would be sleeping. And I would do things at night to help, and that just grew and grew. And I never went back to employment. We just worked together after when the kids were wee.
So tell me about that transition then from public sector into your own business. What were the catalysts? What were the decision? How did you make that decision? What was it that made you make that decision, if you like?
Probably more from my husband's point of view, because he felt owned. He felt he was a wee bit bullied. There was a few issues. It was quite a tough, challenging, and he thought, I can't cope with this. I want to be my own boss, my own destiny. And
Desire for control.
Yes, yes. So he just resigned, and he came home one day and said, we resigned. And we'd actually were putting an extension on our house. So we had no gable end on the house. He had no job, and I was at home with 3 children under 5. So let's say it concentrates the mind.
So if anyone's listening and thinking, I'll just wait till the right time.
There is no right time.
No.
And you make it work.
That sounds like the worst time, but actually that was the right time for you guys.
Yeah, because we made it work. We started off with one client, and we just built from there. And there's now 9 of us in the business. So yeah, we just built from that.
Wow. So what were the bumps or obstacles along that 20-year journey then, Anne?
Getting money in is the toughest one. We are last in the queue. So we provide 3 or 4 sheets of paper, which is taking a bit of time to get to. And then the client, you say, you owe the taxman X, and here's our bill. And we're last in the queue. And now we get people to pay monthly so that they don't have these peaks and troughs. But yeah, I would say debt collection I hate it. I just absolutely hate it. But that is one of, sadly, every business has to deal with. It's no different from anybody if you're the plumber, the painter, or the multi-million pound turnover business. Everybody has these challenges.
It's funny you should say that. I don't know if you've read, what's it called? It's the story of Nike.
Right?
It's Phil Knight. I can't remember the name of the title, but there's a part in that book where, this millions of dollars they're turning over, and he's having to borrow money from all the accounts he's got to pay his staff. You could still be doing millions and be counting
Absolutely.
pennies to make sure that you continue. So it's
Absolutely.
not just the small businesses that have that challenge.
No, it's everyone. It's everyone. And yes, you want to keep your staff, and because you've invested a lot in your staff and you want to keep that. But yeah, it is. Or the VAT, you've got a VAT bill to pay. That's usually another critical point. So yes, it is. That is a challenge.
Yeah.
I would say, I mean, we're obviously much better now than we were. I do quite a lot in money management, and I'm quite happy with that side of things. But yeah, I would say that's the biggest challenge. And you've got staffing problems too. Let's not be, that comes with its own challenges, and keeping staff and keeping them on board too. So the biggest
So,
things.
yeah. When you decided to build a team of staff, then, yeah, any advice on starting to scale your business?
I suppose we've done it all the wrong ways too. You don't really know how somebody's going to be in their business. You do this interview and it sounds fantastic. And even during the probation periods, be it 3, 6 months, you don't get a few full flavour. So you discover things along the way. Most of our staff have been fantastic. But we have had one or two challenges along the way too. And I suppose that's just human nature.
Yeah.
That's human nature. And obviously, we've got to protect the business, because without the business, we can't support these families. And maybe that's not what the employee sees, but it is a sustain for all the people. Although we're just a small business, there's still a lot of people depending on us, and families and things in the community. And that's with all businesses.
Somebody said to me once that there are a lot of kids who know your name as the boss, and you're feeding. It's not just yourselves and your staff, it's their families, and there's a lot of responsibility in that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So you'll know the same as me that some business owners decide not to go down that route, decide not to take on staff. They just continue with
Yes.
limit the size of their company because they feel that the additional stress of managing staff is too much for them.
Yes, I can get that, but you will never be free. You'll never
Yeah.
have time. You'll never be free. When you're not working, there's no money coming in. There's no income coming in if you're not making or providing a service that you offer as an individual. And if you want to scale and you do want to hopefully leave a legacy and have some time back, you have to scale. You have to build.
Okay, so you have to build a team that can do it without you for you
Yes.
to feel that you can get away
Step
from it.
back.
Then.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're not there yet. As much as I would love to go down a number, I've gone down one day, but I would like to go down more. So it's just building that team and building that expertise, which comes just with years of experience.
Yeah. What's it been like being in business with your husband then? How
For
do you
us,
manage the crossover between work and family life?
it's worked really well. Yes, there are times where over the kitchen table, our kids will say they know about a debit and a credit and things that are going on because they've heard the chat, especially in January when it's a very pressurised time. How many returns have we to go and all the bits and pieces, and they've been here to collect papers from clients, etc. So it's not without its challenges. Initially, we had the office attached to the house, and we just physically put a door in. a door on the corridor so that we could close that door. Right, when we go through that door, we're now in family life. But it is too easy just to come down those 3 steps down into the office. Well, I'll just do this or I'll just finish this. We now have premises separate from the house, which is just wonderful. But for us, we've worked really well together. And yet we work together, but we might not see each other because I usually work in a different floor from Brian. So there is a separation and we do different roles in the business. But when we chat, we're going in the same direction. So I can't say for us it's been a challenge as many as I've seen with others. And I suppose it's just keeping note on, are you both traveling in the same direction? Are you both trying to get the same thing out of this? And it's making sure you communicate that with one another.
I guess that's a marriage and a relationship as well, isn't it? It's not just a
Yes.
business. Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. But we worked together before we ever were married. We originally
okay.
we worked together in, it was actually Stirling District Council. We worked together there. So we've always had that environment as long as we've known each other as working together. So I suppose just it's always been there.
Yeah.
We've never known anything else, shall I say.
And managing the boundaries between when you can talk about business and when you can talk about family. Yeah, having the door, being able to shut the door or
Yeah.
whatever.
Don't get me wrong, we say, oh, I forgot to tell you, and it might be 10 o'clock at night, and something comes out that's happened in the day. Yeah, that does happen.
So do you think you were always going to have your own business? Do you think it was written in the stars or has it just come through circumstance?
I think probably my husband probably thought that. I come from a family, my father had his own business or several businesses. So I suppose from that point of view, I saw it at home, but I'm not sure I thought I would run a business. So I've probably dovetailed in to Brian's coattails on that one. I've just gone along for the ride on that one. Yeah, I set out to be a business owner. No.
Yeah. What have you learned about yourself then, Anne, over the years?
You're stronger than you think. I think the biggest change for me was when I was invited to do training for QuickBooks software. I did a lot of public speaking and a lot of training. I did that for nearly 15 years. That was the biggest, huge transformation, I think, in confidence building for me. Because let's face it, accountants sit at a computer. We're more with a spreadsheet than we are in a public facing environment. So I think it's giving things a go. As long as you give everything to it, I think I've learned just be you, but you can achieve if you give it everything. You might not like it, but you can change and you can always learn from it. So learning the rapport, learning the standing up in front of people, all these things. Yeah, you can do it. You can actually do it.
So for that opportunity that we'd like you to do this training, what was your first response when that opportunity presented itself to you?
I was invited to do initially was a roadshow tour, and I was asked to give a talk. And then as a result, one was successful and that became 3. I then was invited on to the software development because obviously you're a name, you're known, blah, blah, etc. And then I was invited and I just thought, I'll give it a go. I'll give it a go. And that interview was 4.5 days.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, for being a trainer. That was tough. At point, I didn't think I'd got it. But because not everybody did that was on that panel. But yeah, 4.5 days. You were asked to do all sorts of things. And I suppose it was to see how you interacted, how you could think on your feet, how you could resolve problems, all these kind of things. But yeah, it was interesting.
So this is just, it's about accepting opportunities that come to you then. Yeah.
I'll give it a go. What can I lose? And I loved it. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely loved it. The first few, obviously, you're shaking in your shoes, but the first big one I did was actually an East Kilbride. After that, I was buzzing. I think that was the third one I did. I was absolutely hooked and I just loved it. I love going into a business, especially if it's one-to-one, getting the system tailored to their needs, talking about ways how the system could help them get reports. That I would say is my one absolute love. Yeah. And I thrived on it. I absolutely thrived on it. So I think grab every opportunity, because I didn't set out to be a trainer.
No.
Never have thought about that. I was just an accountant that pushed paper and spreadsheets, but you can get so much out of an opportunity that is thrown in your direction. And I would think just go for it.
It's something that comes up a lot, isn't it? You'll be the same with businesses that you're talking to. Say yes to the opportunity, even though you don't know how you're going to
Yeah.
able to achieve it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was amazing. It was amazing. I loved it. It covered everything from Northern Ireland out to Orkney down to Durham. So vast area. Just amazing opportunity. Yeah. I just resigned there in August last year. So I just felt I delivered. I wanted to step back from that. And sadly, since COVID, it's no longer individual, it's all online. And that causes its complications because you can't read, is somebody understanding what you're
Yeah.
trying to say? Because they're invisible to you because you're training to masses rather than just maybe 20 or 30. So I just thought, no, I don't want to go down that route any longer.
Yeah. So you lost the enjoyment for it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I wasn't sure, was I giving the impact that I felt I needed to give to that company when they were taking new software and making sure it was running properly for them? Because you just couldn't read. You can't read a blank screen.
Yeah. Yeah. So for all that you're an accountant, all about spreadsheets, you're clearly a very people-focused person.
Yes, I do. I do helping an individual. I do helping businesses. Yes. I like to get to know our client, not in a professional manner. It's to help them with their business. So if we can understand the challenges that business is going through, be it staffing, be it just the cost of fuel to run their lorries or whatever it is, you've got more of an empathy. We can then hopefully give some insights of other businesses and draw on experiences and interact with the companies.
I love that. You're there to help them. I ask a question to most of my guests, actually, and very rarely is the response my accountant, which is disappointing. And when you, as you'll understand, when I ask you the question, and I think more people should be feeling that their accountant is someone that's who's been your biggest supporter over the years? Where have you had the most support from in business?
Obviously, as a team, my husband,
Yeah.
and I would say my father. My father has been my biggest cheerleader in everything. He ran his own business. He knew what it would take. He knew what it was to get money in, to keep staff. He was a sounding board. So I would say my father was a big supporter as well. So I suppose family. Yep. Husband, be it father. Yeah. Internally family.
Yeah, and you see why I was saying it would be nice if more people said it was their accountant, because that's why you're in business, is for money, isn't it? But
yeah. Yeah, don't get me wrong. We've had a few martial things that have told us, which is very sad, the marriage situation, and we've got to contain that to help the business, which will then help those individuals. It's not just the personal side.
yeah,
So it's helping holistically on a round basis.
yeah.
Yes. But yeah, we do say to our clients, before you make any big decision, please run it past us, because there's something you might not be thinking about that might be coming along the lines or might affect your year-end situation or whatever. So yes, we do say that to our clients.
Brilliant. Brilliant. If you could go back, Anne, and meet your 18-year-old self, what
Yep.
advice would you give her?
I suppose back yourself a bit more. I was probably quite shy, actually. I suppose be more willing to try things. To be honest, though, I've grabbed every opportunity that has been set out in front of me. I don't know what I would say. I would probably have said go down, if rather than be an accountant, systems. Systems have been my love. Even when I worked for the council, we put in a payroll system and a financial ledger system. That, if I'd gone down that route, I probably would have been a better happiness. Although I'm not saying I've not been happy in what I've done, because I have actually achieved that through the development through QuickBooks and through.
You might have got there sooner. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. That's difficult to say, because you know what, you make a decision and you run with it. Because I was offered 2 jobs when I came out of university, one somewhere in Scotland and one in London. So I made my career choice somewhere in Scotland. So I would have run with whatever decision I had made. And I think it's, if you try your best, you will get back. And it's okay to say, I don't really like this, let's move to the left or move to the right. You've still got experience. You've still gained something. You've still got something to put in your hip pocket to take you further. And I think it's recognizing that and moving forward. I would probably say, don't be so hard on yourself. I was probably too hard on myself.
I was listening to that there thinking, is this advice to me and Anne now, or is this advice to Anne's 18-year-old? It's always very relevant, isn't it?
Yes, it
To
is.
where we are. Yeah.
No, at the moment, I want to reduce my hours. That's my goal at the moment. I want to have some fun. I want to go and do some things, bits and pieces. So, yeah.
So that's what's next for Anne, is reducing your hours and stepping away a bit. What about the business? What's next for FBD Consultancy then?
Oh, the business. My husband will never retire. He's still very keen to build, to push forward, to change, to modify. We had a meeting yesterday about being more efficient. We're looking at other softwares. You've got to evolve. You've got to change. We can't stand still. And that, I would say, for both of us, we do thrive on. That will never change. And I think although I'm going to reduce my hours, I'm going to do the bits that I really love. So that'll be the systems, that'll be the accounting, the training, that'll be the bits, the interaction with the clients, rather than the set of accounts.
Yeah.
So that's where I want to go. I'm not saying I'm not going to be involved in the business, but I'm going to take the real bits that I love.
Bits that bring you joy. Absolutely.
Yes.
I love that, Anne. Really love that. Is there anything else I should have asked you? Anything you want to add to the conversation?
Well, I don't know. I'm listening to myself and I'm thinking, really, it's been quite checkered. But no, I think everybody's journey will take a few bends and humps in the road. Just don't give up. Just don't give up and keep plodding on. That's what I tell our kids. You put one foot in front of the other and see it through.
I love that. I'm writing that down. Don't give up. That's the perfect message to end on. And thank you very much. I've really enjoyed chatting with you today. Thanks for being a guest on the show.
Super. Thank you very much. Thank you.
And thank you to you for listening to Scale Her Up. If you enjoyed this episode, follow the show and leave a review. It helps more female business owners find us. Come and join our Scale Her Up Facebook community to get support, accountability, and connection with other women who get it. And remember, only 1 in 3 UK entrepreneurs are female, and men are still 5 times more likely to scale their business beyond £1 million in turnover than women. When we start and scale our business to the same extent as men, we'll add £250 billion to the UK economy and create millions of jobs. So, ladies, you can do it, and your business can make a massive difference.